Chai Soo-bin is the exception for Yoo Yi and Sok, and the secret love is revealed. Welcome back, dear viewers of our channel. Before diving into today's deliciously intriguing topic, we want to send a heartfelt greeting to everyone watching. Your support means the world to us, and we truly hope you'll continue to follow and share our videos. This time, we have prepared something incredibly entertaining, part speculation, part detective work, and part pure romantic fantasy. Remember, the scenes we're about to discuss are based on our own analysis and interpretations, so they may not perfectly match reality. Still, we urge you to stay until the very last moment, because we've hidden some exclusive, never-before-seen insights in the video, along with subtle hints you simply won't find anywhere else. Before we begin the video, we'd like to share a particularly intriguing rumor that's been circulating among fans, that Yoo Yi and Sok and Chai Soo-bin were recently seen at a quiet, tucked-away cafe, far from the usual celebrity haunts, where they were allegedly meeting in secret. Some eyewitnesses claim the atmosphere felt more like a cozy date than a casual catch-up, with the two leaning in close, smiling, and speaking in hushed tones, and whispers suggest this rendezvous may have also been a chance to offer each other support and exchange ideas ahead of Yoo Yi and Sok's upcoming fan meeting in Shanghai on August 9th, a detail that, if true, adds yet another spark to the theory that their bond goes well beyond the public eye. Now, let's set the stage. The show is Yubari Talkbari, a cozy and light-hearted program where guests come to chat, laugh, and share personal stories. In this particular episode, Yoo Yi and Sok played the role of gracious host, greeting each guest as they arrived, and there seemed to be an unshakable routine. A warm smile at the door, a cheerful, long time no see, followed almost instantly by the gentle, polite question, "How are you these days?" Every single guest received this identical combination of welcome and inquiry. It was almost like watching a professional handshake repeated over and over, polished, predictable, and perfectly neutral. But then came Chai Soo-bin. From the moment she stepped in, everything changed. The door opened, and instead of just offering the usual polite greeting, Yoo Yi and Sok's expression lit up in a way that was visibly different. There was no, "How are you these days?" none of the standard small talk he had given to everyone else. Instead, he dove headfirst into a stream of personal remarks, like someone who had been storing up things to tell her. He skipped right past the getting to know stage and went straight into the "I already know you" stage. He didn't even wait for her to ask about him. He volunteered details, talking about his recent back pain, and even tossing in the oddly charming tidbit about his dad drying chili in the car. It wasn't just casual conversation. It was the kind of familiar, random, and intimate sharing that people usually reserve for those who are, well, very special. This moment stood out like a spotlight on stage. For every other guest, he followed the polite host formula. But for Chai Soo-bin, he abandoned the script entirely. That kind of exception doesn't just happen without a reason. The comfort between them felt lived in, like there was a history there. It wasn't just the words, but the way his body leaned in slightly when talking to her, the way his eyes seemed to smile before his lips did, and the complete lack of the polite distance you usually see between colleagues on camera. And here's where it gets even more interesting, because we weren't the only ones who noticed. The other two guests, sitting in the background, exchanged knowing looks and smiles. One even seemed to clap at just the right moment, as if enjoying the unique dynamic playing out in front of them. They patiently waited for their turn to speak, but it was clear that Yoo Yi and Sok and Chai Soo-bin had slipped into their own rhythm, almost like a private conversation happening in public. If we take the liberty to speculate, and oh, yes, we will, this is exactly why our video carries the title, Chai Soo-bin is the exception for Yoo Yi and Sok, and the secret love is revealed. Because let's face it, when a man treats one woman completely differently from everyone else in the room, when he speaks to her as if he's already part of her life story, and when he throws in personal details that feel tailor-made for her ears, it's hard not to connect the dots. But this isn't the first time Yoo Yi and Sok and Chai Soo-bin have been the subject of romantic speculation. In fact, eagle-eyed fans have been piecing together possible clues for years. One of the earliest rumors sparked when the two were spotted leaving the same late-night restaurant, only minutes apart. Though they denied being there together, some claimed the timing was just too perfect to be a coincidence. Adding to the intrigue, a blurry fan-taken photo seemed to show them walking down the same block later that night, far from any official filming schedule. While the image was inconclusive, it lit up online forums with questions about whether their relationship had already extended beyond the professional sphere. Then there was the infamous coffee truck incident. During a drama shoot, a coffee truck arrived on set with a handwritten note of encouragement addressed to Yoo and Sok. At first, no one thought much of it, but fans noticed that the style of the handwriting and the choice of certain words looked suspiciously similar to those used by Choi Soo-bin in her own social media posts. Naturally, both of them brushed it off as a sweet coincidence, but for shippers, this was yet another piece of the puzzle. They insisted that these little gestures often reveal more than official statements ever could. Another rumor emerged from a charity event they both attended. Though they arrived separately, several attendees claimed that throughout the evening, Yoo and Sok seemed unusually attentive to Choi Soo-bin, making sure she had a drink, quietly laughing with her in the corner, and even helping her adjust her shawl when the wind picked up. While such actions could easily be chalked up to simple kindness, they took on a different weight in the eyes of fans who were already convinced that the two shared a deeper bond. The way he hovered just close enough to be protective, but not so close as to draw obvious attention, became the subject of countless speculative posts. Over time, these scattered moments have built a kind of unofficial timeline for their supposed romance. From the way Yoo and Sok's demeanor seems to soften whenever Choi Soo-bin is around, to their occasional matching accessories, which some swear could not possibly be accidental, the pattern is hard to ignore. And when you put all these little incidents side by side with what we saw on Yubari Talkbari, the break in his usual greeting pattern, the sudden intimacy of his words, it starts to feel like we're watching just the tip of an iceberg. Now, is this undeniable proof of romance? Maybe, maybe not, but what we can say is that their interaction didn't just feel like co-star banter. It had an undercurrent, something playful, warm, and just a little bit charged. That's why we're calling on all sharp-eyed fans to pay extra attention when you watch the footage. Notice the little glances, the slight changes in tone, the moments when they seem to forget there's an audience. These tiny signs often tell a bigger story than words ever could. So, as you enjoy this video, keep in mind that while our theories are built on speculation, they are rooted in the undeniable fact that Yoo and Sok's demeanor shifted when Choi Soo-bin walked in. The pattern broke, the vibe changed, and sometimes, that's all you need to start believing that maybe, just maybe, there's a love story unfolding right before our eyes. Stay tuned till the very end, because our team has hidden some special, exclusive clips and commentary that might just add fuel to the fire of this already irresistible rumor. And who knows, by the time the credits roll, you might find yourself not only smiling but secretly hoping that these two really are each other's exception.